Hello, everyone, and welcome to the IEN 2026 Spring Playoffs. We're into the semifinals. We've got an exciting best of five for all of you here today. But before we get into all of that action, I've got to introduce the handsome man to my digital right here, FBI Tugboat. How are we feeling today? I see the shirt. I got to say a big thank you to you for that.
Absolutely. Faked you out. Had the other some random black shirt on. Changed it out the last minute right there.
Me.
Never gonna catch me. Never gonna hold me down, man. I'm doing great. I'm doing absolutely fantastic. The IEN playoffs are here. We have, I mean, the cream of the crop has risen to the top. We always do it so that regular season performance does determine postseason placement. Now that after a couple of rounds, we do know, Hot Sauce, what a lower seed can get you in the playoffs, and that's really just a single performance. But plenty of other really exciting stuff happening here with the IEN, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got the finals coming up here as well. I've been really excited for that because I'm lucky enough to be there in person on April 25th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's an all-day event there at their Riverview Health Arena Innovation Mile there in Noblesville, Indiana. So it's 100% free to the public. There's going to be 20-plus colleges there, the U.S. Army esports team. I mean, there's a lot of amazing opportunities for these students to get to experience, let alone just being out in this big stadium playing on that competitive field.
Yeah, we're talking about 20 different. I see a college fair on the official pamphlet here. I do believe I saw someone talking about 20 different colleges and universities going to be there as well. So if you are high school, even really middle school, if you want to come check it out and kind of see what the next step might look like. If you're in high school and esports is something that you have enjoyed playing throughout your freshman to senior years, wherever you're at, I do not see a reason why this is an event that you would not attend.
Yeah, I mean, and we always talk about it in other LAN events I've been to as well. You know, maybe your school didn't make it to that finals. You should still show up. I mean, this is an atmosphere that's unmatched. There's a lot of great opportunities, and like you mentioned, there's 20 plus different colleges here as well. So you can get out there, you know, put a face to the gamer tag, meet some of these colleges, find out what opportunities, what scholarships, you know, are out there for you as well going forward to, you know, maybe get to advance yourself in a career opportunity that you enjoy and get to be, you know, playing some games and earning scholarship opportunities all while doing that, having some fun.
Yeah, insane opportunities, obligatory. Man, I really wish this existed when we were younger.
Yes.
It is what it is.
Yes.
We're going to be looking at, what is that, Indiana Gateway Digital Academy taking on William Henry Harrison. We have two teams with rather longer names here on the day, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, I love it, you know, and it's two teams that, at least on paper, are very close. You've got the number 2 seed of INGDA there, the Indiana Gateway Digital Academy. You got the number 3 seed on the side of William Henry Harrison. So two teams that have fought very hard throughout the regular season and the postseason to get here into the semifinals. Both teams looking for that ticket into the grand finals on Noblesville or in Noblesville, Indiana, there on the 25th. So a lot at stake here, and just what is a best of 5. They can go pretty quick.
That they can here. This is Rocket League. What we always say: 5 minutes, 4 corners, 3 players per team, 2 nets, and 1 ball here, folks. 1 ball. Now, I want to give a huge shout out to one of the organizations that make competitions just like this one possible, as well as the IEN Finals is coming up here. That is the Pace. It's not to quote the song. It's not exactly where the Pacers play. It is where the G League of the Pacers play. It was really, really interesting. Yes. Again, that is Riverview Health Arena. Yep, exactly. Want to give a huge shout out to Zotac Gaming, though, for supporting Scholastic Esports within the great state of Indiana. Now, you can show your appreciation for Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out over there on your various social medias, and also make sure to join the community on Discord, and don't forget to use the hashtag #PoweredByZotac or Zotac USA when you post, if you choose to. All good.
Yeah, make that post. Let us know who maybe you think's going to win today's game here, as we talked about two incredibly talented teams about to take the pitch here. And, you know, for me, I always look to see who's that more aggressive team out of the gate, who's looking to control the boost, who's looking for those bumps or those demos, that play after the play where you pass in front of the net, and as you're circling out, you're trying to demo or bump away one of these defenders. And you can find it on the attacking side, right, as well. It alleviates some of the pressure on defense, but it opens up those possibilities when you're on offense as well.
So early aggression definitely going to be a key here, especially in a best-of-5 series that is not like your more standard kind of elongated best-of-7 or even like a grand finals best-of-9 or whatever. Want to introduce these two. We have Indiana Gateway Digital Academy. That is Xenobug, Kane, and Winter Storm. Big shout out to the coaching staff here for the INGDA, excuse me. Probably henceforth referred to as Digital Academy. I think that might be a little bit easier. Shout out to coaching staff. That is Coach Young and Coach Danny Dalton. Wait, that is not correct.
Danny Patton, I think.
Patton. My handwriting is terrible. Big shout out to William
Mine
Henry
too.
Harrison. That is Vanilla Frosty. That is Imports. That is Absinthe. Or Abyssine. We did this earlier. Sorry. And Coach Gilmore. Man, I can't read my own handwriting.
Hey, well, you know what? Some of those names can be a little tricky as well in this day and age, but these two teams are wasting no time getting aggressive out here on the pitch, and we see some early back and forth here, but now Zeno will tuck it into the corner, looking to put it in front of the net here. Defense steps up. They find a temporary stop, but it is not enough. Imminent shadow. The shadow comes in, finds the first, and it's a great start here for Digital Academy.
Yeah, a great first start. This is exactly what you said this squad needed to do. Early aggression. Kane 2 Buns. It's actually that's a pretty funny name. We have just Kane down here on the sheet, but that I will admit that is a funnier name. Speaking of moving it through the air right now, a pitch down in the middle. Actually, this is going to be one for the side of the Digital Academy until William Henry Harrison takes this thing vertical. Nice mid-pitch meet right here. After the initial goal, it kind of seems like these two teams slowing it down a little bit, trying to feel each other out.
Yeah, you know, we often see the game number one kind of being that feeler game. You're trying to test your opponents a little bit, but not overextend so much that you give up anything for free. You're looking to feel out that play style. Are they aggressive? Are they more methodical, mechanical through the sky? And so we see that a lot here in the first game. And for William Henry Harrison, I think it's good that the tempo slows down just a little bit. They're only down by 1. They've given themselves plenty of time to work with. So now just looking for that ticket back in here, that equalizer. But Kane has other plans. He's circling like a shark in the water. They're able to find a temporary stop, but now they'll eventually get that clear.
Yeah, so the pass right there is just a little bit too slow to really be on the money. Gets to a opponent, and now we see a flip of this offense this defense into offense. Excuse me. Shadow puts this up to the corner. Kane's going to easily put it right back to that corner. Whenever it lives in the corner, obviously this is a defensive team is going to be happy, relatively safe, right? Really, really hard to hit that angle from the corner in hot sauce.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult angle to find, and now we see a bit of back and forth. We see a little demo, and then the crazy save coming out from Dowers here as well. He's able to keep that one out of the back of the net, but the pressure still relentless at the moment. And for Digital Academy, they've been that firing squad. They've been able to apply a little bit more pressure here. William Henry Harrison, they need to find that clear, and they need to find some shots on target downfield as well. They might find a ticket here.
See if so. Both teams have had decently sustained offensive drives, right? It hasn't just been like a quick flick and attempt and then take away, completely flip the script to the other side, right? A little bit longer sustained, and frequently those longer sustained drives with lots of shots on goal is going to be how you eventually crack this nut.
Well, we see a couple good opportunities here from William Henry, but unfortunately not able to find the back of the net yet here. Kane will still be searching for the clear. Imports is going to put a nice one toward the front of the net as well, but it's knocked to the wayside. 100 scooped up in the corner. We'll see him trying to take it back here, but right now, I mean, the defense, let alone the offense from Indiana Gateway Digital Academy, has been great on both sides of the pitch here.
Tries to find the angle right there. Can't quite put it to the corner, and William Henry Harrison will not be denied thrice. Great shot right here, honestly. Even Kane's doing exactly what they needed to, outside of actually getting behind that ball, right? Like if they're going to be playing off the back wall like that and trying to play rebounds, you really, really want to get that ball to hit on the backside of your car, so it puts to that corner that I was talking about. Remember, corner for defense equals safe.
Yeah, you almost always want to play from that far post out, and it was a great attempt. I think just gets a little bit too far forward, and all of a sudden we're seeing William Henry Harrison pick up the tempo here, but it's a counterattack the other way, and it gets a bit scrappy here. Dowers knocked into the back wall. This one floating high and dry. The teammate not quite able to scoop it up in time, and we'll see this one headed in the other direction.
Yeah, 1-1 right now. Nobody's really going to be quaking in their boots quite yet, but Shadow has had many, many opportunities up on high, right? Tried to play it against the backboard. Perfect defense. Transition back the other way. Here comes Zeno. Decent half flip to at least get pointed where they need to go. Dowers Bros up to it. How are we saying this name, by the way? Sprixru?
You know, I was just waiting to hear you say it because
Sparrow.
I also, with the X could always be anything this day with kids at age. So, I don't know if it's Spyro, Spexru, so I was,
come on.
I'm not going to lie, I was kind of waiting on you, Tugboat.
We were using X for anything, for any letter for 30 years now. We can't blame it on this generation. Come on.
Yeah, you're fair. That's fair. I'll always looking for the scapegoat.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Sparrow. If somebody in chat wants to correct us, then we'll be totally open to that information. Regardless, 40 seconds or so, and we've been tied for a couple of minutes now, Hot.
Yeah, I mean, William Henry did a great job of finding that equalizer. Now with just 30 seconds left, or 35 rather, it's Kane off the back end here. In this play, we get to see it unfold again. I mean, they were trying to find the clear. It gets pickpocketed and dropped right into the back of the net. The defense makes an attempt. They get a card to the ball, but the damage was done, and Engda will enjoy that lead one more time.
Absolutely. I think we mentioned it earlier, but winner of this will be going on to the live event, and now we do have results. Concord 3-1 over Lawrence Central. We'll talk a little bit more about that game in a minute. 23 seconds to go, a single score differential. You can't be you can't feel too bad if you're William Henry Harrison, but the time is slowly slipping away here for you to try and tie this one up, put it into overtime. Now, if you're unfamiliar, oh man, Shadow. Shadow right here just completely bisections the defense. Watch this shot right in front of the defender. 9 seconds. I think we can safely call this one, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, and I think William Henry, we saw them begin to pick it up in the second half of this game. So despite, having a loss in game one, I think there's a lot to take away from William Henry Harrison here, and they can be happy with how they begin to pick up this pace. They found a goal as well. They almost get a late one here as well, and you can see the fight and the determination here in WHH. So, I expect him to come out here fierce in game number 2. I'm hoping that we see the series time because I love when we get all the way to that game number 5.
Oh, yeah. And if you're unfamiliar with Rocket League, what we saw there is that kind of little mini volleyball type situation. Don't let the ball hit the ground. Can score 1, can't score 2. So that's why Hot Sauce and I were talking about how this one is over. Game number 1, done and dusted. Well done for the Indiana Gateway Digital Academy squad. This is a best of 5, though, so at least 2 more to go for them if they want to take down this BO5.
Yeah, and I always look to game 2 as well. We talk about game 1 being that feeler game. You talk about sometimes how game 1 jitters are a thing as well, maybe a little bit of nerves, whether you're a senior or a freshman. There could be some first-timers out here. There's a lot of emotions that comes into something, especially when you're in a semifinal match, looking for that chance to play in that big Noblesville stadium. So, potentially some nerves on the line. Game 2, I look to kind of tell me how maybe the rest of the series is going to play out. Because in a best of 5, when you're up 2-0, that reverse sweep is pretty rare. You tend to go on and win that series, whether you lose a game or not. But if William Henry Harrison can find a way to get a dub here and tie the series up, it really is anybody's game.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right, about Game 2, is the end result of Game 2 is one of 2 different things, right? It's either one team in a best of 5 putting the other team onto series point just like that, 2-0, right? Or it's this situation of having that best of 5 basically boiled down to a best of 3 because the other squad does take down a W, you're tied 1-1. As it is, we'll see how this one finishes out. 3-1 in the opening game. Even feels a little bit more like a 2-1 Hot Sauce, right? I mean, it is so frequent that the last 30 seconds or so you see just a flurry of scoring from the team ahead because you want to go forth if you're the team that's behind. I mean, loss of 1, loss of 10, the end result in a game in a series is the same, right? So I want to pour everything into offense, just try and tie it up and push it into that overtime situation.
Absolutely, especially when you're only down 2-1. You need that goal, so you take a little bit more risks, and sometimes they don't pay off. It leads to a late game goal in the other direction. So, yeah, the game was 3-1. In my mind, it really was a 2-1 game. It was a game that was separated by a single goal, and a game that could have gone either way. It was just that quick start from Digital Academy, I think, that set them apart. But we saw William Henry battling back in that second half like I talked about. So I want to see that same aggression from that second half now spill over into the full 5 minutes here in game 2. But that was a close one already.
It was indeed, and playing rather far. So, I mean, it's just different offensive schemes, offensive looks, right? This one so far, the Digital Academy squad is deployed in the first 20 seconds or so has been a decently defensive one, leaving not just one but two back. Well, that's why you do that one, Hot Sauce.
And it's again, this is early aggression this time from William Henry Harrison that we didn't see in the previous one. And so we already see an early attempt on goal. It was a nice shot. Imports tries to set up a teammate here as well. And this is some great give and go. We see the pass work on the ground, through the sky, and now beginning to become relentless. If you get shot after shot, it's only a matter of time before you find the back of the net.
Decent clear attempt, but Sparrow has different ideas. Nice pinch against the ground. Doesn't have to be 1,000 miles an hour, Hot Sauce. Fantastically done, and William Henry Harrison takes the lead for the first time in this series.
Yeah, it's not always about power, Sometimes you just need a little finesse, and, it's nothing too crazy here. It's just great Rocket League from William Henry Harrison. They get up early, and I know there's only been one game played, but so far the team that has scored first has gone on to get the dub. We'll see if they can keep true to the theme here today.
A minute into this one. It's a frequent theme, oft repeated, especially in shorter series like the 05s. Pass here to teammate from Xenobug. Come up to it. Shadow, no. Got to pre-jump at that one a little bit sooner. Defensive efforts on the other side as Shadow remains lurking, trying to wait in the wings for a pass. It's going to be a little bit easier said than done. Now gets back with the rest of the squad. Now, decent attempt there. C6 stops this ball in its tracks. Uncharacteristic miss there from the Digital Academy squad.
Yeah, it could happen to anybody, though. It just goes to show that we are all human from time to time here. And luckily for them, it comes at a time where it's not too detrimental. They're still only down by a goal. There's plenty of time left here in game number 2, but they've got to find a way to crack the code. It was Ben Kane before. He's looking for something through the sky, not able to find it here, and they'll circle back this time. The pass a bit too much mustard. We'll scoop up the 100 in the corner, though, and WHH right now doing a good job of starving their opponents from that boost as well.
Yeah, what I don't want to... we've just seen a little bit less aggression from this WHH squad, right? I would still need to see that for another couple, I'm going to say minute and a half at the absolute least, and that's only if you go up 2-0. You can't really pull the full-on defensive turtle shell type situation quite yet, because, just giving over possession is how you get scored on. Nice tipper right there, and now a second! Bang! Fantastic. C6 finds the second for William Henry Harrison. What is that, 2 seconds outside of halftime?
Now, this is beautiful as well. Up top, we talked about it. You don't always need power, and this is selfless here. He has a teammate coming in. We talk about team communication. Just a subtle touch to the ground allows his teammate to capitalize, and they get that 2-point cushion that you were talking about. But I'm never a fan of turtling up. Something here is working for WHH, right? So don't change it up. Continue to do what's been working. Stay aggressive, not overzealous. Don't jump on every opportunity. Make sure it's a good one, and that's what they've done so far. That was a close one, though, but, right now we're seeing that they, too, can get it done on both sides of the pitch. It's a beautiful save. We'll see if they can find something here in transition.
Absolutely. Wow, Digital Academy getting a pass, not one but two, comes up for a centering effort, but the defensive trio of William Henry Harrison quickly transitions from that offense to that defense and gets there in the nick of time. That's a solid shot and an even better defensive effort. Just a bare tipper to put this into the corner and use that backboard as the fourth defender, Hot Sauce.
Well, we'll see if they can continue to have success on both sides of the field here for WHH. They've certainly turned things around here in game number 2, but there's still 90 seconds left, which is a dangerous amount of time to only be up by 2. You can't get complacent here. You got to continue to do what's worked. That's what we talked about earlier. We see Kane circling back. This one, well read here, looking for a touch to a teammate. But right now, these rotations from William Henry have been on point. They're doing a great job of controlling the pace, the tempo, and the ball here in game number 2.
60 seconds, though. Classic 60-second drill is down by 1 with 60. What do you do? A little bit of a different story. Shot inside, and now that just got a lot harder. C6, it's another one here, their second of this game number 2. And, if the Digital Academy gets one in the next 60 seconds, we'll have ended this one out the exact same but opposite scoreline as we did in game number 1.
Love to see the fight here from William Henry Harrison as they show that they can battle back regardless of the outcome. We often talk about the mental aspect or the physical aspect, but not the mental enough. And, losing that game number 1 could be tough in a semifinals, but we see here that it doesn't really affect William Henry Harrison. They continue to stick to a game plan, and they found something that's worked here. And now they just have to continue to eat time up the clock. They're doing that with these long booming clears, looking for something if it's there, but they don't have to take it if it's not. A great job here in game 2. And I mean, with only 30 seconds left on the clock, maybe something could happen now that Kane has found this one, but they need something off of a kickoff here.
Kane, fantastic. And you're 100% right. Whether that was a fantastic job of walking the dog all the way inside. We haven't really seen aerial ball possession to that level thus far in this matchup. But hey, I mean, this is the semifinals. The cream of the crop has risen to the top. Fantastic job there from Kane. Now you need 2, though, and this is what we were talking about. If not a goal, you at least need possession, and that is not what they have right now. A weak clear. That's a better one. Actually gets it to the teammate. Kane, is he going to do it to him again? No, it's a selfless pass. Fantastic job. I mean, this was a really, really tough situation. There's no way that Kane gets that one out. As we said, don't be surprised, William Henry, after everything is poured, kitchen sink situation into the offense for the Digital Academy. Don't be surprised when you see goals the other way. 4-1, this game 2 is over.
Yeah, I mean, much like we saw in that previous game, Indiana Digital or Gateway Digital Academy knows that they have to go forward. They need a goal desperately. And by sending everybody forward, it opens up that backfield. So we see a late game goal here from William Henry, 4-1. It's a very similar score line, but that's why I was looking for game number 2. And all of a sudden, we have a very close series on our hand. And whoever takes this next one really gets to go into the driver's seat. They get to series point early. They give themselves a couple opportunities, a little pressure off the shoulders, a little bit of breathing room as well. So there is a lot to be had here in game number 3.
There has. Take a look at the numbers here. And I mean, hey, if it works, if it's... it ain't broke, don't fix it. Isn't that the old phrase? But
yes, sir.
7 shots, 3 goals here from C6. No shots, no saves, nothing there from Dowers. And we have not seen the physical play rule the day. No demos on either side of these teams. Spuru. We're getting confirmation on the name. Thank you, Wilhelm.
Oh, Spuru. Okay, legends. We have so many wonderful people working behind the scenes here, both at IEN and LANFest. So I got to give them a big shout out again. But yes, thank you, Wilhelm. We saw some demos. We saw a little more aggression, I think, in game 1. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised that we don't see any demos here. Dowers also had some great saves in game 1. Maybe a little bit silent in game 2, but that doesn't matter because you have one goal as a team. And that's to win the game. They're able to do that in game 2. But like we said, I think there's a lot more pressure here on game 3. You get to be the first to get to series point. Give yourself some of that breathing room, that driving seat that we like to talk about. So a lot on the line. We need a full 5 minutes here from both squads if they want to come out on top.
Absolutely. The series, will not end after the culmination of this third game in this best of 5 as series is tied. Oh, the post! Either the best or worst noise in Rocket League. Hot sauce, depending on what side of the pitch you're on.
Yeah, my boy Lam often says the MVP, the most valuable post when it's holding true and finding stops like that for you, the 4th man on the field. And it can be a little bit of refreshing air out there when you're on an onslaught of shot after shot. So they get a break early, but what can they do with it? We saw Digital Academy having a lot of success in game 1. They didn't have very many breakaway opportunities in game 2. They were starved of boost. And, we almost saw that night and day from the 2 teams. And already an early shot here. It's not quite it's not quite a lot of mustard on it, so they are able to find the save.
Yeah, a little bit faster would have maybe gotten it there, but it was a bouncing ball, so a little bit faster puts this higher on the rebound, right? To get rebound against the ground. So who knows? Maybe not a perfect shot really available. I know the defense showed up, and that's really what matters. Great job deading this ball, putting it into the corner. Came to Buns, trying to get back down to it. Not going to happen quite so easily, and really need to pick up some boost here. A little bit starved is this William Henry Harrison squad outside of Dowers. Spuru gets it there, and now this is a squad that's ready to take it to the offense.
Well, he was looking for something there. The defense wisely tucks it into the corner, makes sure there's no easy shots. The pinch play is there. The 100 will be collected as well across midfield. Ingda looking for something. Will be met here by Spuru, but the ball still high and dry, floating around midfield. The pinch, not a lot of mustard on that, but has some help here from imports, and the other way they go.
Backboard play. Gets it down to the teammate, C6. That's a player that got hat trick in game number 2, really setting up their team for success. That is maybe not the exact definition of. That's going to thankfully hit backboard not once but twice, so members of the William Henry Harrison squad do have time to get in the defensive stance there, but it was a great job getting it there from the Digital Academy. 0-0 still. We're about 15 seconds outside of halftime, and I love that execution into the empty space, right? Just simply going and putting the ball where your opponent is not.
Yeah, giving yourself opportunities, looking for the teammates, and it boils down to some of those basic fundamentals like rotations, but also team communication is a big part here for a lot of these young students, and a lot of great skills for them to learn and take forward as well. We see another shot on goal here from Imports, and again, we're starting to see this William Henry Harris team just be relentless on these opportunities. It's shot after shot. They're controlling the boost. They're kind of controlling the field domination as well here, and we need to see Digital Academy find a breakaway play here.
Oh, on the rebound, followed up. Great job realizing this one. Spuru not only gets the defensive stop and a shot back the other way, but quickly transitioning this one into offense. Teammate C6 off the wall, spinning, flipping, twisting, turning, trying to get it to a teammate. Not going to happen. I got to say, Digital Academy's defense is brick wall right now.
Brick wall, but how long can it stand tall? I mean, both of these teams have held each other scoreless after we saw a 3-1 and then a 4-1. It has been a much different pace here in Game 3, and I think both teams really beginning to respect each other's talent here. We had those feeler games. They're out of the way now, and that best of 5, essentially a best of 3. Every goal, every moment here is very, very crucial for both teams. An opportunity for and they get it. It's imminent shadow to find the first, and we said it before. Every team that has scored first here today has gone on to get the dub.
Yeah, and this is a really good job. It's so hard to like maneuver your car to get that angle into the bottom left. That goes bottom right. This ball is blocked. We're still looking at a 0-0 game. My advice to both of these squads is to not really panic when you're only down by 1, because I do feel like that has been that is what has resulted in multi-scores and not really being able to bring this one back from just a bare brink, which is only a 1-score differential, 60 seconds or so. I would suggest like dedicating everything to offense in about 25, maybe 20 seconds left or so you get like a couple of solid opportunities in the offensive stance. There's the physical play. Will it rule the day? Xenobug tries to get up to it, had an opportunity, even had a slot on the right side right there, but couldn't quite get the touch onto it. Bouncing ball, William Henry trying to cover it up, can't get there.
Yeah, I mean, a minute can feel like an eternity in a game like Rocket League. So you're right. You don't have to get too overzealous here. And now we see through the sky the aerial prowess, the player with finesse, but it's stopped on the goal line. It's 2 shots from William Henry Harris that somehow comes away unscathed. And now with a big booming clear, they continue to eat up time off the clock. This is where it comes down to the wire. This is where now William Henry will have to go, pedal to the metal, and we'll see if they can find one in the last 10.
That was so close and such an awesome opportunity. Keeping it within 1 also gives you the volleyball situation at the end. Do not let this ball hit the ground if you're William Henry. Solid pop-up play, flipping to it, put it on the nose. No! Couldn't quite get it to the wall and bounce back up. This one will end at a very competitive 1-0 scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't get much closer. It comes down to the wire, and it's only a 1-goal game here. I mean, we see all players getting more active. We see some more demos on the field as well, but it has just been that back and forth between these two teams, and there were 6 shots from WHH here. So certainly for not lack of trying here, they're putting it all on the line, but now they need to win game 4 if they want to extend the longevity of this series. And I mean, for Indiana Gateway Digital Academy, they have a chance to punch their ticket into the finals and take on that number 1 seed of Concord.
Absolutely. And this is, of course, 2-seed INGDA Rocket League Varsity, 3-seed William Henry Harrison. So you can't really be surprised when the competition is up to this level. Teams trading wins back and forth so far. If the theme continues, we will see a game number 5.
Well, I will never complain about more Rocket League, especially when we get to showcase all of the wonderful young talent that we have over here in the Indiana Esports Network. So I'm hoping for a game 5. Obviously, I'd love to see both teams win here today. These students have dedicated a lot of their time, and really kind of, been practicing all regular season to get to this point. So You'd love to have two winners. Unfortunately, there can only be one on the day. And, well, at least it's a very competitive and close series thus far. We need to see William Henry Harrison win this next one. And we talked about it, right? So far, whoever has got that first goal does go on to win the game. So that's something that we still kind of have to keep our eye on.
Yeah, and given that that's been a theme established, if I'm Coach Jung, if I'm Coach Danny, if I'm Coach Gilmore over there for the side of William Henry Harrison, then I'm thinking, how do I go forth and make sure that's a situation we attain first, right? Both of these teams haven't been able to scratch back from a multi-score differential, from a one-score differential. I mean, it was a one-score differential in game number one. Obviously, that ended 3-1. INGDA went forth and got it. I think that was 8 seconds left or something like that to really seal the deal on that one. There was perfect opportunity for both of these squads to get one in the last 60 or so in this most previous. Be bringing it on back here, yeah. And let's once again mention to the good folks some amazing esports going on within the great state of Indiana, Hot Sauce.
Yeah, first I want to say just apologize for the technical difficulties. We all love, technology, but sometimes these hiccups do happen. Luckily, we've got a phenomenal team behind the scenes, so we'll be back in the action in no time. But we do want to remind everybody, these students are playing for that chance at that finals, April 25th from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's an all-day event at the Riverview Health Arena at Innovation Mile there in Noblesville, Indiana. And the event is free and open to the public. So I do believe all attendees have to require to register for that free general admission. I know there's a flyer that's gone out on a bunch of different socials. And so maybe we can get that link up in chat here in a little bit. But 28 state champions are going to be crowned on that day. There's a college fair. At least 20 or more colleges are going to be there. The U.S. Army esports team as well. There are so many opportunities for these students. So even if your team isn't making it to that finals, I strongly recommend you showing up and you're seeing what everything is out there to offer.
Yeah, and IFBI Tugboat have been to a lot of esports events. There's, to put it lightly, there's usually some kind of free play stuff there, right? So even if you don't necessarily make it there and are able to play on the big stage and whatnot, there's usually capabilities to go forth and run a new game, an old game, super competitive one like Rocket League or one of your first-person shooters or something like that with your with whoever you bring there as well, right? Maybe a little impromptu competitive scene if you get some folks together as well. Anyway, 40 seconds into this one, no real shot attempts quite yet, Hot Sauce. I think both of these coaching staffs, like I mentioned, kind of noticed that as well. First team to score would go forth to win, so maybe just bringing the tempo down a little bit and leaving at least one player back, mostly covering the net on both sides. Well, never mind.
Yeah, we can talk about it, but Digital Academy said, hey, we're going to be about it, and they find a very fast goal here in this one. So they get off on that right foot. They got to be feeling confident and comfortable now. As we talked about, you score first, you tend to win here in this series. William Henry Harrison's going to have to throw a wrench in the mix, but they've got 4 minutes to do so. So there is still plenty of time. You just, you got to take that deep breath. There's not much time from goal to goal here in this. You have to get right back on the field and play. So it's important to be able to kind of let that go. GG's go next and find this equalizer.
100%. 100%. A lot more physical play. A couple of demos here. I think we only saw, 4 total maybe in the previous game. And there was that second game. We had none. There was physical play, sure, but no demos, though. An effort to reverse Rule 1, right? Doesn't work like that, folks.
Not quite. We saw William Henry Harrison, though, with a shot toward the target there. Unfortunately, that one doesn't go in. They're getting some attempts here, but it seems like, again, Digital Academy is really kind of controlling the pace here in the last couple. We see William Henry Harrison having to play from their defensive half and kind of playing off big booming clears. I'd like to see some passing plays downfield, but I guess it doesn't matter if you're able to sneak something like this in here. Imports finds a big one. I mean, it's a big booming clear that almost goes in, and Canes is ready for this, has some help there, but they don't realize that William Henry is hungry for this. They are all boost. They come flying in. They get that equalizer, and now with 3:05, it really is anybody's game.
Yeah, and great job for this William Henry Harrison player making it in, because Kane knew exactly what to do, right? That half flip right there was like the an attempt at like a psycho, right? Flipping upside down and making like a flat platform that the ball can hit and then travel back the other way, right? That was the entire idea. And so if this William Henry Harrison player did not hit that ball was traveling the other way, and it was traveling there fast. 7 seconds outside of halftime, tie game.
All All tied up, just about to crest the halfway point here, and these two teams continue to have a slugfest again on the ground, through the sky. It doesn't matter, and now some pressure here from William Henry. They get the demo on the back end as well, and now Sparrow through the sky, off the backboard, double tap not there. Defense well read. It's a wide open net the other way, and an easy one for Kane. Digital Academy back up on top by 1.
Kane, fantastically done, William Henry. Frequently, both of these teams have left a player back, but that wouldn't even really have mattered given how fast that ball was traveling, unless they were literally putting like their rear fender into the back corner on the I guess that would have been close post, right? And regardless, up by 1, 2 minutes to undo this one. William Henry Harrison has. See how they do as Kane shows what they can do on the offense, just like they just showed what they can do on the showed what they can do on the defense. Yeah, opposite of what I just said, folks. You get it.
Yeah, I mean, with all the action that's going on between these two teams, I know myself, it's easy to get tongue twisted up here sometimes. I mean, these two teams have just been relentless. They've almost always got no boost in the tank because they are a go, go, go aggressive style team. And I mean, that's what's going to take, regardless of who wins this series, that's what's going to take to beat a #1 seed like Concord as well. So it's great to see these two teams getting in some solid reps against each other. But now, with just 90 seconds left on the clock, this time is slowly going to dwindle away, and that pressure is going to begin to grow here for William Henry Harrison as well.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. 90 seconds to go, down by 1. This is a classic situation. Cannot allow the pressure to absolutely crush. Shot across the middle. Maybe getting a little bit more aerial with some of these shots, because if there's one thing both of these teams have shown, it's generally not going to be the low down fast rollers. They're going to be able to make it in. It's going to be like that high-flying Kane goal from earlier. It's going to be C6 from game 2, right? That kind of stuff, getting up in the air.
Up through the sky, and we'll see if they can find a way here in the 45 seconds that's remaining. Right now, Kane doing a great job of eating more and more time off the clock. They find big booming clears, but they're doing it almost as a cross, back and forth in front of the net, just waiting for an opportunity to open up in front of them. But now we see a bit of a breakaway here, and now an opportunity for William Henry. But again, it's just back the other direction, and this eats up so much time.
And just like that's what I'm talking about, right? They carry it aerially, using the backboard of the other side. I would have liked to. Okay, it's all good. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a better view at that one, so you guys can kind of see what it is that I'm talking about. As we are not, this is not impossible, but we do need to kick off from William Henry Harrison basically right now. This has to bounce inside, shot to the middle, inside. We have life.
And it's imports. I mean, off the kickoff, it doesn't get much better than this. Look at the determination from imports here. I mean, this is a phenomenal play, and maybe just the play of the game if they can find a way to tie it up here in the next 18 seconds.
Pretty much got to win off a kickoff as well. This is going to kick down into the corner. It takes a favorable bounce right there and forced to pick it up. Now 1v1 across the middle. Second player gets there from the corner. If this hits the other side back post, this game is pretty much over. That's first. You got to get it aloft. Now a cut. If they just let it bounce, that's it. No rule 0 attended to. Crazy stuff. 3-2 victory as the Indiana Gateway Digital Academy punches their ticket to the grand finals live there in Noblesville, Indiana. I almost had it.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple games here in this series were only separated by a single point. If you're William Henry Harrison, you hold your head very high on a phenomenal regular season, a great postseason run where you fall just a little bit short. But, I mean, that'll give you a little bit more determination, I think, when you come back. We got to give a big GG's to Indiana Gateway Digital Learning, though, because they get that they have to go on to face Concord. So I don't know if I envy them yet, but they certainly show that they've got the fight to get to that finals and possibly upset that #1 seed.
Got the skills to pay the bills. That was on display here. The interesting thing is, right, we have 3, 4, 5, 8, Oh, no, yeah, we have 7 to 8 total goals given that William Henry Harrison took down that dub in 4-1 fashion. There was only a 2-score difference for the side of the Digital Academy in game number 1. That would go forth to be the largest score differential they would take a W with. Crazy stuff, man. A lot of back and forth. We saw adaptations. We saw changing of, like, super hardcore offense. We saw, last-minute kind of switches mentally of exactly what it is that you want to do on this virtual Rocket League pitch that would go forth. Find value. We did not see. I mean, we almost saw the comeback there, right, in game number 4 that would have purchased us a little bit more Rocket League. But regardless, hats off, hands together. The Indiana Gateway Digital Academy will be punching their ticket. Very excited for them.
Yeah, it's another phenomenal day, but it wouldn't be complete without our phenomenal sponsors as well. So I do want to give a big shout out to LandFest as well. This broadcast here is part of LandFest's Scholastic Esports program, and it's a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LandFest has delivered over 300 broadcast Scholastic leagues in both Washington and Indiana. And we provide these broadcasts free of charge to the leagues, the schools, and the teams that we cover. And all of that's possible because of your generous donations. For every $200 that we're able to raise, that covers the operating costs for an entire regular season broadcast. So if you appreciate our work and you're able to donate today, please scan that QR code and help out.
Absolutely. We also want to give a shout out to the LOS portal. Yes, that is the League OS portal. Do you want to play esports in college? Well, virtually, I'd suggest you get on over to LOS portal. In IRL, I'd suggest you get on over to the Riverview Health Arena at Innovation Mile over there, 14157 CJ Way, Noblesville, Indiana, on April 25th. But if you're doing it online, then you can search for hundreds of collegiate esports programs at portal.leagueos.gg. Now, scholarships exist for players, for shoutcasters, and more, so list all of your talents. There are verified collegiate coaches that are searching through the LOS portal right now to find players just like you. Now, IHSEN students specifically, you can sign in to manage your prospect profile, where stats in your various performances are updated automatically once that match does end. And of course, folks, the LOS portal is free. Don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg to level up your future today. Hot sauce. This has been a fantastic one. I'm very glad it wasn't a 3-0. I'm very glad that there was a little bit of a back and forth and just not some 3-0 Rocket League, right?
Yeah, and I got to say, I'm excited for the finals coming up. Like I said, regardless of whether your team has made it to the finals, grab your parents, grab your kids, make it to this event. It's a phenomenal event with a lot of opportunities, not just for the people playing there today. We talk about the college fair, the U.S. Army esports. I'm loading my family up, my 2 little ones, my wife. We're heading out a day early to take a look around the beautiful state of Indiana as well. But they're coming to the event as well. And so, like I said, it's a great opportunity for kids of all ages to see what opportunities are out there for them. And you certainly don't want to miss it. The atmosphere is unmatched. So hopefully we'll see you there on the 25th. You can't beat free. It's a free event. That link has been put in the chat, so make sure you sign up, get your free ticket, and come see all the wonderful things that IHSEN is continuing to do for all the wonderful young talent that we have over there in Indiana.
Absolutely. Another thing here, folks. Yes, we had the leaks. We have this is not rumors. We have the behind-the-scenes information. What we don't have is a name for you. I can say that Starfall PR will be debuting a brand new esports game that is going to look really, really similar to the esports that you just watched. So if you want to come on out here, if you're a parent and you're thinking, how do I get my kid, maybe a little ahead of the curve, I'd say playing an esports game while it's still in development, live, IRL, with whoever you want to play it with, is one of those ways. If you're a high school student thinking about LOS or the portal, thinking about collegiate esports, I'd say playing an esports game before it's available to the general public is a fantastic way to do that. And at the absolute least, you're playing a new game, right? You're playing a new game that's in development, that your reasonable, helpful feedback, people, will help the game developers who are going forth to develop this game, and not just this game, but any future games that are developed within the competitive esports realm, or just, more fun, cozy video games, right, Hot Sauce?
Yeah, and like I said, with 20 colleges being there, maybe you love biology or chemistry, but you like playing video games. There's scholarship opportunities for you as well to go and play games, have fun, meet like-minded people when you get to college, make new friends. all while getting to better your career and further your education. So again, there are so many opportunities for all the wonderful students here in Indiana. We certainly hope that you show up on the 25th. I'll be there in person. Looking forward to meeting all the wonderful faces, putting gamer tags to faces as well. So if you see me, please stop by, say hi. I'd love to get a picture with you as well. But before we get going today, we have to thank everybody behind the scenes here who make our job so easy, and they continue to work so hard. So a big shout out to everybody at IHSEN, as well as Landfest here behind the scenes. Connie and Taylor producing, observing the show, and always doing such a phenomenal job, even when we have hiccups there. So a big shout out to them. Thanks for everybody hanging out and watching here today. All the competitors, the schools, the teachers, the parents, the friends in chat. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. So hit that follow button down below so you don't miss out on any of the action to come. We'll see you in person on the 25th. My name is Hot Sauce. The handsome man to my digital right is FBI Tugboat. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Please enjoy the rest of your evening.